to the 1987 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. Isao Hirakata from Tokyo takes on Alan Atkins from Brisbane. Your commentators are Jeanette Baker-Flynn and Steve Mackey.
Well, Isao Hirakata, it'll be interesting to see how he bowls in this tournament. We'll have a good look at his approach in the next couple of frames. Good tension reliever, that one. A nice way to get 9. Jeanette Baker.
Yes, easy way to start off a match. Rather than trying to attack the head pin, play a relatively safe shot, allow for the mix, and be satisfied with getting the 9 count in the first frame.
He doesn't take much time. Have a look at this man go. He just gets up and takes off.
Alan Atkins going for his 4th consecutive win in the championship from Belmont Heights here in Brisbane. A high score of 290 and a win of the 87 Brisbane Masters. And an awkward one left.
Yes, that was a terrible shot by Alan. He would have been hoping to get away to a good start against Hirakata. It's hard when you're bowling against players you don't know anything about whatsoever, and it's always nice to jump out of the box. Let's have a look at his reaction with this 7-9 split. Not a good one.
Alan doing the right thing there, making sure of 1 on that very difficult split. We'll be looking now to get up with a strike, to get a double, and consequently to cover that open frame to start.
Yes, Alan Atkins, that's his favourite lane here. He's won 2 of his 3 matches by getting strikes at vital moments on lane 16, but it let him down then.
And down they go. Good comeback.
Just another look at that one. Carried the 5-pin that time. No chance of a 7-9.
Isao Hirakata will be on screen in a matter of moments. A little fellow from Japan. There he goes, a businessman in the export industry. And Steve Mackey has bowled 300.
Yes, he's a very, very accurate bowler, and he's very businesslike on the lane. So let's have a look at this. He'll pick the ball up here. He'll step up under the approach and just take off. Unbelievable. I've never seen anyone bowl like this before.
No mistake.
Yes, he seems to just simply pick the ball up off the ball return, take a side at the pin that he's aiming for more so than on the lane, and then just casually walks up. It was quite a surprise to a lot of bowlers when he came into bowl in the tournament. We thought he was just walking up there.
Yes, and I think we were trying to count his steps while he was having some practice bowling before the match, and we lost count. I think it's about 7 or 8, Jeanette.
Yes, 8, Steve. A great shot there by Hirakata. 2 good, solid pocket shots.
And what must be very heartening to him so far away from home is the great crowd support that the Queenslanders are giving our visitor.
Would be very pleasing for him, being in a foreign country in front of a foreign crowd. He obviously can't speak English, but yet the crowd are supporting him very strongly.
Well, Alan Atkins needs a double to close that gap.
He's halfway there. You're watching the 1987 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic, and at the end of the 3rd frame, it's an even ball game, 39 apiece. Alan Atkins and Isao Hirakata, 39 pins each.
Well, that was a tough break for Alan Atkins. We'll have another look at that one. That could well have been a strike. Going high in the head pin. The 6-pin, oh, well, how did that stand? 3 pounds, 6 ounces. And All nuisance value to Alan Atkins at this stage. Let's have another look at it. That one looked more gone than the 8-pin that went.
Absolutely. It looked like it was going to be the first pin to disappear off the deck. Alan would be saying, what more do you have to do? Unbelievable.
I'd like $1 for every time that's happened to a tournament bowler. They put a ball in that should be a strike for 1,000 years, and then they get up casually at the spare, and he missed that very comprehensively. He missed it by a mile in the end.
High shot for Hirakata on the right-hand lane, but got out of it, leaving the 4-7. There's Stephanie, who's been acting as Hirakata's interpreter over the last couple of days and has been a godsend for the tournament organisers.
I'd explain how he come to be playing in the tournament, Hirakata, Steve.
Yes, he won a tournament in the AMF centres in Japan. We've got 5 or 6 centres up there, and they had an all-Japan final, and it's a great time to win for Hirakata because it's his first trip outside of the Tokyo area. Lived in Tokyo all of his 41 years, and he enjoys fishing and golf. When he's not down on the lanes, he bowls 4 days a week.
Conversely, he's gone a little bit light on that left-hand lane, although I have noticed the right-hand bowlers just a fraction difference with that left-hand lane. A little bit light, getting a bit of mix, but unfortunately leaving the cluster of 4 pins on the left-hand side.
How hard a shot's he got left, Steve?
Well, he's got a cluster of 4 here, but he's so accurate that I think he's going to place it right where he should, and that'll be between the front pin and the pin to its right. The pin numbers in this setup are the 2, 4, 5, and the 8 pin at the back. He's moved way over on the approach left. He's bowling straight at it, and he's covered it. A leader by 9 pins after the 4th frame. Alan Atkins, 66, with 2 open frames and a double. Hirakata, no open frames yet, 1 strike, 75.
Well, we've seen Alan Atkins come from behind to win his first 2 games with the 2 sensational finishes. And, well, he's trialling again. Nothing new for him.
No, he's produced so often, but he'll be disappointed. And what a good game this has been. He's left a 7-9, he's had a double. He's left a 6-pin that should have been a strike, missed it, and now he's had a 9-pin off a light hit. Let's have a look at this one, Jeanette.
Light again. Again, the most important factor to a ball when it's the difference between a strike and leaving a single pin is the deflection factor as it hits the pins.
Well, he's taking a bit more time on this spare, and of course he's covered it this time. I bet he'd love to have the last frame over again, but that's all academic now in the match play situations. He will have to forget that completely and just get on with the job.
Yes, I think Alan would be taking the attitude that he got the double, covered the first open frame. Now he'd be looking at getting another double to cover that open in the 4th frame. That way he'd be looking at a possible high 190-200 game if everything stays clean.
Great shot by Alan Atkins. These two very evenly matched in experience. Both of them have been playing since their early 20s. Alan Atkins, 23 years in the game. He started it when he was 20 at the centres here in Brisbane, and Hirakata bowling for about 20 years.
There's one thing I'll say about Alan Atkins. He is a tough competitor.
Hirakata crossing over to the Brooklyn that time. The first time that we've seen him do that all day. He's been practicing beforehand, never missing the pocket. This time, a little bit off balance, pulls it across and into the Brooklyn side, but like all competitors, take the strike and work on the next one.
Yes, that's ancient history now. Got to get on with the job, and we know Hirakata doesn't muck around getting on with the job. Straight up there.
Once again, light on that left-hand lane, leaving the 2, 4, 5 pins, shaking his head a little bit. He obviously made some kind of adjustment for that lane, but obviously not enough, Steve.
Yes, well, the Japanese have a great attitude to the game, don't they? They don't let anything faze them, not like some of the Australian bowlers that we have to put up with in the tournaments.
And a good cover there for Hirakata.
Well, the situation now for Alan Atkins, and he's on his favourite lane. He's on the lane that he doesn't so often. If he gets a strike on lane 16, he'll just about be the new leader. Only a couple of pins in it at this stage.
After a couple of soft shots on that lane, he's tugged that a little bit too hard, possibly lifted his head a little bit, pulled it onto the nose, and left the baby split in the left-hand side.
And we've seen the baby split left so often by the right-handed bowlers. This is the left-handed version. He has to put the ball in between those two pins. This requires pinpoint accuracy.
Great shot. And you're watching the 1987 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. And at the end of the 7th frame, it's Isao Hirakata from Japan, leading Alan Atkins from Brisbane by 9. Eighth frame. Alan Atkins trailing by 9 pins. And we're in what we might call the championship rounds.
Oh, it's a sign of a desperate man. Twice now he's left the baby split.
Seems to be more overturning the ball than anything else. He showed it in his emotions at the last frame that he'd overturn it, knew as soon as he let it go that he did it, and here again he's done it. The baby split.
Oh, it's hard to spare those things twice in a row. That's harder than getting a double. So Alan Atkins now really doing it tough against the Japanese opponent, and he's not trusting the ball anymore.
As you say, though, Steve, Alan Atkins, most of the bowlers he's encountered in the tournament to date, he knows very, very well. And this gentleman up on the approach now, Hirakata, is an unknown entity.
Oh, well, he almost left the gate open for Alan Atkins, but he's going to have a lead of about 19 pins, and Atkins is going to have to pull something out of the fire if he hopes to win his 4th successive match here. He's eliminated some great bowlers so far, but, well, he's in more trouble than ever against the Japanese. And Hirakata, no copybook style there, but it does the job. He's clapping himself. He's happy with the situation. He looks quite at peace with everything.
Do you think we'll see some of this technique adopted by bowlers around the country after this match?
Well, I tell you, if he bowled in a 5-man team, we'd be done in about 2 hours instead of 2.5 hours. He's really speedy, but it's effective.
Great shot there by Hirakata. Found the pocket. No problems whatsoever. That nice high rolling ball. He currently leads now by 21 pins at the bottom of the 8th frame.
Well, what's this man got to do? Strike, strike, strike.
Yes, he's got to go all the way now. The best he can do is 193. Hirakata shooting at a 194 pace. Atkins is in trouble. Needs a strike here. Well, Atkins elected to finish first, and that's the job ahead of him. He needs 3 more strikes in the 10th frame, all of them like the one you're watching now, and that'll give him a 193 and make the Japanese bowler get a spare and a strike to win by a pin. Of course, if there's a tiebreaker here, if they tie the game, we need a tiebreaker, and that we'll explain if necessary.
Well, once again, he got that ball down a little bit early, turned it around. There we see it rotating into the pocket, but again, pretty flat when it actually hits the pins and deflects too far away to take those other 2 pins in the corner.
Well, that's just about the end of Alan Atkins. And that's a pity for him. He had a nice run of wins going there, but once again, we've seen after 3 successive wins, we saw Tony Roderick win 3 in a row. Atkins win 3 in a row, and now they're eliminated. Well, Hirakata's going to go on and meet another left-handed bowler from South Australia. It'll be Eric Miles. The winner of that match plays Paul Mayer of Brisbane. The winner to meet Tom Curry, the top seed from the Gold Coast.
And so Alan Atkins finishes with a 172.
And before that game, the last 6 games we've seen by the men have been an average of 205, but that one's dropped a little back. Hirakata can shoot 214 if he goes all the way.
He's on his way to do it.
Well, it would have been a long way to come for just one game, so Asao Hirakata
And of course,
doing it nicely.
It's a chance to win that Qantas prize, the trip to London to play in the British Open should he take out this tournament.
Looking for 3 strikes. He's got them.
Those strikes flow so freely. Once the pressure's off, all of a sudden the rhythm's there. He's getting the nice light pocket shot.
Yes, and what a lesson here for the young bowlers and some of the more seasoned players in Australia, that attitude means everything.
And this Queensland crowd has really taken to this young fellow. And finishes off in tradesman-like style, and he acknowledges with a bow Asao Hirakata. 214 has beaten Alan Atkins 172. A win to the boy from Japan by 42 pins. In the tournament for the boy from Japan, Asao Hirakata, and the man who he's ousted, Alan Atkins.
Well, that's the way it goes. All good things have got to come to an end. I thoroughly enjoyed the tournament, though. I had a great time.
Just couldn't get it together in that game?
No, I missed a single pin. You can't miss single pins, and it upset me a bit. And I just couldn't find the pocket that game. But it was good to see our friend from Japan come over and bowl well, because he's a stranger in the country. So I hope he goes well from now on.
Righto, Alan, I've got a cheque here from Coca-Cola for $900 for your effort in the tournament. You played well, and thanks for being in it.
That'll help, Alan. Thank you.
Well, Asao can't speak English, but we've got his interpreter here, Stephanie. Stephanie, just ask Asao, was he thrilled the way that the crowd got behind him?
Thank you very much, he says. He really appreciated it.
Right, did he have any trouble with the, well, quite obviously didn't have any trouble with the lanes.
Yeah, レーンはいかがでしたか?
そうですね。そんなに難しくはなかったですね。
He didn't find it too difficult. It was quite okay.
All right, we'll give him our congratulations. We'll see him later in the tournament.
おめでとうございます。
Good night, Asao. Asao Hirakata. What a great winner was. And a big round of applause for him. We'll see him later in the championship. And when we come back with our next match in the Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic, it'll be the semi-finals of the women's.